So tell me, world, are you scared of the dark? When it all goes down and the lights go out, I'm not the one you wanna see. Some will and some won't, some do and some don't. Now tell me who you're gonna be. See, I couldn't really give a fuck if I am so unbearable. All that I really care about is that I'm uncomparable. They're bigger than me and they're quicker than me, but they know that nobody is sicker than me, cause they can kill X and they can kill Y.
Hello, welcome, Devil Sniper here, episode number 9, season number 5 for West Ham United, our career mode with West Ham, and we have just got back from the Copa Europe. And what a great result. What an absolutely audacious result against Manchester City. A great day had by fans and players. Really, really chuffed to add yet another trophy to our cabinet. But we have something to concentrate on. We have to play Sunderland at home at the McVitie's Arena. It's going to be a tough game because they have a once legend of a West Ham in the form of Tank. So it's going to be extremely difficult to play against him because we know he is absolutely fantastic. But hopefully we will do the business because we've got a lot of deals to be done. There's a lot of deals at this moment in time on the line potentially going through. We will have to wait and see. That will come later in the episode. But we're going to join the game with Morrison picking up the ball on the right hand side, knocking it into Adrian. Adrian tries to play the ball through to Gabs, but it's broken down very well by Sunderland. Sunderland with Colbeck and Wickham playing a nice little 1-2, and Wickham plays a through ball into Fletcher, but Diami's there to show his experience and why he's still such an important player at West Ham United at this current point with a great interception. Gabs knocks the ball forward into Zaha. Zaha with a nice little silky turn. Moves out to the left-hand side. A lot of the West Ham players are looking static at this moment in time. Not a great deal of movement. Zaha is still out on the left-hand side trying to work some magic over there, but he's got a simple ball on. He's chosen not to take it. Rodriguez tried to come in and get the ball, but unfortunately Sunderland clear it. Gabs now moves down the right hand side, looks to try and take the cross, goes for the cross, it's deflected, it comes to Morrison. Morrison knocks it into Diami. Diami feeds the ball into Zaha. Zaha with the turn, strikes the ball, hits the post, the ball comes to Diami and he slotted it home after 17 minutes. Absolute simple goal. Great turn there by Zaha. He hit that shot with such ferocity. It hit the post, it seemed to strike the Sunderland defender, just fall to the floor, and Diami there was there just to slot it home. Great shot. The ferocity in that shot was unbelievable and a simple goal. I don't think Diami will score a simpler goal all season or in the remainder of his career. That was absolutely beautiful. But Wickham there with a strange pass into Gardner. Gardner knocks it into Fletcher. Fletcher's gone around the defence. Will he score? Yes, he will. How unfortunate is that? 22 minutes gone, and due to a defensive error and defensive mix-up by West Ham, Fletcher has given Sunderland a lifeline and pulled the score back to 1-1. At that moment in time, West Ham were literally dominating the game and looking so comfortable, but great play there by Fletcher to pull them back into the game. Cole can move in past the halfway line. Looks like he's got a nosebleed. He's running back. He was way out of position there, but he played a nice ball into Rodriguez. He filtered the ball out to Zaha, and Zaha again looking to do too much, but he has played the ball into Rodriguez thankfully, but Rodriguez is dispossessed, unfortunately, lacking a little bit of strength there. He could have held his man off, but he didn't. Diami feeds the ball into Ravel Morrison. Ravel Morrison into Gabs. Gabs goes for a shot, it's deflected, Rodriguez with the shot, and Gabs snatches the follow-up. After 32 minutes, Gabs has just made it 2-1 to West Ham United. A sensational piece of play there. Gabs going for the original shot, great defensive block there. But the ball just spun up straight to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez hit the ball, and the keeper made an absolutely huge save, but the rebound came to Gabs. Great strike there. What a save. That's got to be said, that was a world-class save, but Gabs had an easy follow-up. So 2 simple goals for West Ham. What can we say? It's looking good at this moment in time. They're playing very good football, very comfortable on the ball, looking very professional, building upon their now history with winning so many trophies in the last 5 seasons. But Adrian has the ball, centre of the park, looking to move forward, plays it into Gabs. Gabs trying to get that half yard to turn and get the shot off. He gets the shot off, but it's blocked very well by the defence. But Leighton Hewitt, moving forward, tries to get the cross in. I do apologise, it's Elliot Hewitt, it's not Leighton Hewitt. And unfortunately the cross is defending very well by Sunderland. The referee blows the half-time whistle and we stroll in at half-time. West Ham United 2, Sunderland 1. Goals from Diami and Gabs. Both simple tap-ins. I do not believe they will score easier goals all season. But we pick up the beginning of the second half with Luke Shaw on the left-hand side trying to move forward. Plays the ball into Rodriguez. Rodriguez monitoring the situation. Spots Adrian making a nice little run inside. He knocks it into Adrian. Adrian into Zaha, who's played absolutely majestically away. He plays the ball into Gabs. Gabs with the nice turn. Gabs with the nice finish. 63 minutes gone and West Ham must have wrapped this game up now. Absolutely fantastic play there by Zaha. knocking the ball into Gabs, who was on the half turn, always looking to turn his defender. As you can see, he's on the half turn, gets the nice first touch, turns the defender and hammers the ball home low and hard into that bottom corner. And Gabs once again trying to break down that right hand side, but Sunderland really putting 2 men on him now to counteract that. They break away with Johnson on the left-hand side. Johnson looking to get the cross in, swings an absolutely great ball in, but Butland is there to take that with pure ease. What a class goalkeeper he really is. He rolls it out to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw tries to feed it into Rodriguez, and that's an absolute waste of a ball. Unbelievable. I can't believe Luke Shaw wasted such valuable possession at such a critical time in the game. Even though the score is 3-1, you just can't allow teams to have simple possession in the final third. But Colbeck knocks the ball into Fletcher. Fletcher knocks it back to Colbeck, but thankfully Kolka has read the situation. But he plays a poor ball, poor clearance by Kolka, and thankfully West Ham just do enough in defence. Great jump there to put off the opposing attacker. Butland has the ball. Surely this is all done and dusted. Plays the ball out. Nice goal kick there. Looking for Gabs. Gabs really not going to win those sort of headers against the likes of the Tank, unfortunately. But Gardner plays a great ball into Larsson. Larsson feeds the ball into Fletcher. Fletcher pulls the trigger. Butland was coming out and Fletcher slotted at home after 90 minutes to give Sunderland some form of lifeline. 90 minutes gone. It's West Ham 3, Sunderland 2. Great piece of play there by Gardner, knocking the ball into Fletcher. Fletcher pulls the trigger early doors because Butler was coming out. He's really rushed out. Not sure that was the sensible thing to do there from Butler, from such a world-class keeper to rush out so early when he still had Kolka cutting across. He could have got a tackle in on Fletcher if Fletcher didn't take the early shot, but we will never know now. As we say, it's West Ham 3, Sunderland 2, and Sunderland have broke through, but the referee, unfairly to the Sunderland fans, has just blown the whistle. Full-time whistle. West Ham United 3, Sunderland 2, with goals from Diami and 2 from the ever-present legend, Gabs. What a fantastic game of football. And Fletcher slotted home 2 for Sunderland to show that he has really got some goal-scoring credentials that have seen him linked with many top teams in the Barclays Premier League and even with a move away to Atletico Madrid. But we'll have to see how that unfolds for Sunderland fans, but we have a lot to concentrate on. So, unfortunately, Diami picked up a slight hamstring pull. He's going to be out for 3 weeks, which is ridiculous. And as you can see in the background, I have been working my absolute arse off. Contract renewals, I've been speaking to all the agents, to all the players who we need to renew contracts. So Stefan, Gudetti, Kolka, Bruno, Martins, Indy, thankfully have all accepted new contracts. And this is just to show you the amount of players we have away on international duty, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And I get a shock text message. Now, Isco has been one of our very, very best players, probably one of our most underrated players, and I was very surprised to get a text message of him saying that he does not want a contract. He wants to leave at the end of his current contract, which I found to be very, very shocking. And I've got to say, I'm extremely disappointed. But I'm not too worried because we've had so much experience with the dealings with Filippo, with the dealings with Tompkins, Nathaniel Klein, that I feel that we have enough experience in our locker to be able to cope with this situation, organise a meeting, have a sit down with his agent, have a sit down with Isco and actually find out what the root of the problem is. We all know being Spanish and being linked to Real Madrid and Barcelona is a head turner, but at the end of the day he has to remember we battered the living crap out of Real Madrid and we beat Barcelona. So really, would going to Barca or Real Madrid be a step forward? It would probably be a step backwards for the lad. So hopefully he'll take that on board. We'll have to wait and see how this pans out, but never fear, I will be doing my absolute utmost to keep Isco at West Ham United because I feel he's an essential part of the team, and for me he is just as important as Filippo. But now we have to do some real deals. We have got a lot of work to do in a very short period of time. Striker wise, at this moment in time, Rodrigo and Destro are the players I'm looking at. And you're probably thinking, Moussa Sissoko, the once West Ham United player. Well, the reason why I'm putting an offer into the once West Ham United player is I received a phone call after the Sunderland game. While myself and the lads were out having a nice meal together, I received a phone call in the restaurant from Sissoko. Sissoko has asked to come back to West Ham United. He wants to finish his career at West Ham. Being the great manager I am, I put the phone down and I made a phone call to Sao Paulo. I spoke to the managing director of their football and said, I'll give you 7 million quid for Sissoko and a player. Just pick your player and we'll do business. As you can see, we've submitted a transfer. We're now just waiting to find out if Sao Paulo will accept the offer and the player. I'm hoping they will. After we finished at the restaurant, I had a great night's sleep. I flew out to Italy early doors in the morning to meet with Destro. I've spoken with Destro. Destro would like to come to West Ham United, but his head is turned by Chelsea and Manchester United, and he's unsure if he really wants to be part of West Ham United. For me, that's a little bit worrying. I want players who are going to be committed to the club. I want players who want to come to the club. And it's the same with Rodrigo. After I spent some time in Italy, I spent 2 days in Italy. I flew straight to Portugal and I spent some time with Benfica, and I had an opportunity to sit down and speak to Rodrigo and try and negotiate a potential move along with their sports director. And again, Rodrigo is very interested in coming to West Ham United, but he doesn't see it as a long-term deal. He would like to use it as a stepping stone in his career to move on to the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid, who may have the history over the last 30 years of being some of the greatest teams in the world, but he's not fully understanding of how great West Ham are, which again worries me and concerns me that perhaps these aren't the right sort of players that we're trying to bring to the club. Perhaps these aren't the players that deserve to wear the claret and blue of West Ham United, to put on that shirt week in, week out, to play for the best club at this moment in time on the planet. We've won the Barclays Premier League, we won the Champions Cup, and we won the Copa Europe. At this moment in time, we are the best club team on the planet, and to have players turn around and say they would rather play for Madrid or Barcelona is quite concerning, especially when you get phone calls from ex-players who were legends at the club when they played for us, such as Sissoko, who says, I want to finish my career with West Ham United. I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to come home. And as you can see, McVitie's gave me an additional £2.6 million, which I feel is pretty damn awesome. Gabs has also decided to sign an extension to his contract. Ryan has also been promoted from the youth team into the first team, or into the squad, I should say now, not into the first team. He's not good enough at this moment in time. As you can see, Destro and Inter Milan, Benfica, both still turning us down, saying no, and it's literally because of the players. It's the players who do not actually want to come to the club. It's not the clubs not accepting the actual offers, because both clubs have made it very clear that Adrian is a player they actually want. It's now down to the players. If the players don't see that we're a good enough club for them, that is their problem. That is their choice. There's nothing we can really do about that situation. So we're gonna try and work something out. We're gonna see what we can do, because at the end of the day, it's a huge risk, and we're talking big money. At the end of the day, we're talking huge money. Cash in hand, Benfica will take 27.5. Cash in hand, Inter Milan will take 28 million for Destro, and that's too much. But I was in a bar, and I was having a very nice conversation with the Sporting Lisbon coach, and I got a phone call from Nelson Oliveira. Nelson Oliveira gave me a phone call. I couldn't believe it. He was interested in coming to West Ham. He says, I understand you've been looking at Rodrigo, but I would like to play for West Ham. It has been my dream to play for West Ham United ever since I was a little lad. And to me, that is exactly what I am looking for. That sort of commitment to come and play for your dream club fills me full of joy, fills me full of admiration for the player. And instantaneously, as you saw, I constructed a deal. I was on the phone within seconds to Benfica, tapping them up to see if we could make a negotiation, to see if we could have a conversation about a deal, a potential deal. From all reports, £13.5 million would be enough to secure the services of Nelson Oliveira, which is fantastic, which I think would be an absolute blinding deal if we get it. And then I had to fly off. I had to go and research a centre-back, and I met with Callas, and I met with his agent and had a chat. And they're very interested in the player coming to West Ham. Again, he is a player who actually wants to play for West Ham. Now Tompkins has left and gone to Chelsea, he has seen an opportunity for himself to come and play for West Ham United. And he wants to take that opportunity with both his hands, because he wants to win titles. He wants to be part of a team that is building and creating history. He wants to have the opportunity to play for the best team on the planet. And hopefully I'm going to make that dream come true for him. And as you can see, we had to go back to Sao Paulo because Sao Paulo changed the ballpark, as they normally do. Dealing with these sides from Brazil is sometimes so frustrating. As you remember, when we dealt with bringing Adrian to the club, we had to change the deal so many times. But thankfully, Sao Paulo have accepted £9 million plus Noble, which makes it round about 10 million quid for Sissoko. And hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, I think it's more of a formality now. Sissoko will be signing for West Ham United. The same for Nelson Oliveira. Putting in this contract offer is an absolute formality, because I'm very confident with the phone call I had with the lad saying that he wants to play for West Ham, he will sign for West Ham along with Sissoko. And that will mean we'll be bringing back an absolute legend in the shape of Sissoko, and bringing in hopefully a future legend in the shape of Oliveira. As I say, bringing back players who actually want to play for your club really is fantastic. Now this deal with Callis is going to hit a stumbling block, because £10.5 million is a great deal of money, especially when I was offering up Fabio. And Fabio wasn't a player I really wanted to get rid of, because I had a chat with Fabio and spoke to him about moving on. You know, how did he see his future? And he reiterated to me that he wanted to stay at West Ham United, that he didn't want to leave, that yes, there had been some rumblings, there had been some murmurings coming from his agent, but it was not from him. He doesn't want to leave this club. He is well and truly feeling at home. On the other hand, Elliot Hewitt gave me a bell and said, Fabio doesn't want to leave, I will take a punt on it. I know I'm not going to get first team football. You've got Kyle Walker, he's a fantastic player. You've also got Stefan, who can play in that position. He's also a fantastic player. And I know my chances are going to be limited. And I don't really want to go out on loan to a lower league team. So put me into the deal. So I did. And hopefully Callis will sign. The deal will go through. But we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a very, very tentative time. You know, we're making huge changes. A lot of people are a little bit wary and worried why we've sold Tompkins, why we've sold Nathaniel Klein, why we got rid of Casemiro, to bring in more class and to bring back an absolute legend. And as you can see, Sissoko has signed that contract. He's going to be phenomenal. I'm so happy to have Sissoko back at the club, and I'm welcoming Oliveira with open arms. A player who wants to play for us so desperately is not a bad signing. He is an absolutely world-class player. Never ever let anyone be confused with that. This lad is a world-class player. I have seen him play, but I was so smitten with the thought of Rodrigo that I overlooked him. And to have a player come to you and actually ask you to come and play for your club means so much more. As you can see, the deal is potentially on. I think this is also a formality. As long as Hewitt can actually agree terms, this deal will go through. It won't be a problem, because Callas wants to play for West Ham United, and I want him to play for United. I want him to come and play for the Hammers. I want him to wear that claret and blue shirt, and as you can see, he accepts, and that's what I'm going to exactly do. Offer accepted. That for me is a very, very successful transfer window. Whichever way we look at it, bringing in Sissoko, bringing in Oliveira, bringing in Callas, 3 world-class players to West Ham United is fantastic, and an absolute credit to West Ham United. I am so chuffed at the players we've bought in this window. I really feel now we can take that additional step and really challenge to win a back-to-back title. I really feel confident enough to say that I feel we can now win a cup, a trophy this season. I know we've won the Copa Europe, but I honestly feel we can win something else. I really feel that we have the team, the depth, the youth players such as Roca, Miguel coming through. These guys I'm watching weekly, you know, playing a reserve side. They are absolutely fantastic. Miguel scored a hat-trick in a reserve team match. Roca scored a double just yesterday in a reserve team match. It's unbelievable. They're both playing so well, and they have every right to be in the first team, but they're going to have to fight tooth and nail. Absolute tooth and nail. As you can see, I just want to say a quick thanks to EA for screwing us over, but we won 3-0 against Southampton, which I was looking forward to that game, because we're going to give out all our young players a run out, but that will come. Don't panic, our young players will be getting a run out. I will also note that Nelson Oliveira scored on his debut against Southampton. So that was a fantastic start to his club career at West Ham United, scoring on his debut. The other 2 goals came from none other than Filippo. Yes, Filippo. He nailed 2. One was an absolute screamer from 35 yards in the top corner. As you can see, we have got some seriously, unbelievably class youth squad players. I cannot wait for them to become of age so we can actually sign them, because we have an exciting future with these youth players. I am so looking forward to the youth players coming of age, especially Miguel and Roca. They are fantastic, and we get some shock news in the media. Newcastle have just joined the rich list. Oh my days. They're a strong enough side at this moment in time, but that's really going to make this league competitive. They're going to have to wait till January to do some sales or do some buying. Hope you enjoyed this episode, guys, and I will catch you later.